evening and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Let us join together in consciousness as we begin this evening's experience. As I quiet my mind and open up to this divine presence, I experience life in a new and expansive way. I take a look around and I see possibility and opportunity. And with excitement and delight, I know that everything is going to be all right. That somehow what's happening in the world today is shifting consciousness, transforming our experience and existence. And for all of this, I am deeply, deeply grateful. So I relax. And I know tonight as we gather that we share, we learn, we discover, we awaken to something within that is truly remarkable, and the gifts and blessings abound. So with a truly grateful and humble heart, I release these ideas into the law of mind, knowing it is done, all is well, and so it is.
Good evening, everyone. Our land acknowledgement is we work, live, and play on the historical and traditional territory of many Indigenous nations, including the Anishinaabe and Wendat peoples, and more recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit and the Haudenosaunee nations. As we gather from many places on Turtle Island, we as settlers are grateful for the opportunity to meet here. And we thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years, including the Métis, Inuit, and all other Indigenous people. Also acknowledging that as we continue to grow and expand on these lands, there's still unresolved and dangerous inequality and discrimination toward our BIPOC and 2SL LGBTQ+ family. By making these acknowledgements, we strive to be allies and take an active part in reconciliation. We recognize our oneness, we realize our history, and we choose to create a new reality. And we are one. And our vision at CSL on the Lake is transforming humanity through the emergence of the sacred, authentic self. And our mission is to welcome you as you are, where you are, without judgment or criticism, providing a sacred place of learning and growing as you seek to achieve your greatest dreams. We accomplish this by offering science of mind classes, social events, inspiring workshops, thought-provoking services, and practitioner support. We honor the revelation of your emerging sacred, authentic self through our positive messaging and loving support. Let us now prepare for meditation with Rev M.E.
Thanks, Kathy. And join with me as we raise our collective consciousness. Get comfortable in your seat, wiggle about if you must. And once you're settled in, take a breath and open your heart to hear these words. Abundance is mine. I cannot be deprived of my supply. Please let these words land for you. Abundance is mine. I cannot be deprived of my supply. The trees do not lack for leaves, nor do the flowers fail to bloom. Am I not as important as they are? Consider the lilies of the field. They toil, not neither do they spin yet. Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed as any one of these. I look at the lavish wastefulness of nature, and I know that God intended me to be abundantly supplied with everything that makes for beauty, well-being, progressive living, and happiness. I myself am accountable when these fruits of the Spirit fail to appear. Since I know the truth of my being, I will no longer hinder or retard my good from coming to me. I will expect and accept all that I need to make my life happy and worthwhile, for I am a child of the Spirit, and every attribute of it, every attribute of good, is my inheritance. Nothing but lack of faith can keep my good from me. For I am one with the universal essence of life, or spirit, and its substance will manifest in my experience as I believe. No longer will I go for my good, carrying only a dipper to be filled. This day, as I turn to the Father within, I bring all the empty vessels, knowing they will be filled, and my abundance will become manifest. It is in the truth of these words that I believe, and I open myself up to receive all the good that there is to come to me. Now I ask you to get excited, feel ecstatic, and affirm with me right here and right now for yourselves. Abundance is mine. Say it out loud if you'd like to yourselves. And I cannot be deprived of my supply. And you know me by now that I'm going to give you a little bit of homework. It's not difficult, but it is a reflection to contemplate, to lift you up, to investigate for yourself. So the question is this: what are you willing to do now to step into your abundant blessings? I say hallelujah to that. And so it is.
Well, today we're talking about prosperity, and I know that means something different to everybody. Some people it might mean money, some is happiness, some is joy. For me, it is about being satisfied and fulfilled in the day-to-day living, regardless of circumstance, regardless of what's going on around us. Sometimes we just need to settle into the moment and be present with what is. And if we can do that comfortably, it really can make a huge difference overall in our lives. And so prosperity is, a place of understanding that I'm one with this infinite universe, that whatever's happening, I have the ability to change it or alter it. And as long as I don't resist it, everything is constantly changing and moving. And that's one of the main constants in life. Try and say that word again. So today we're going to talk about what it means to manifest and what we're able to manifest and how it is we do that. And I think sometimes when we're looking at the ideas of manifestation, we're thinking of, wishful thinking or being positive, and those things actually don't really work. What we want to do is have a clear sense of direction. And by doing that, we create a very prosperous life by being present in what is and also living with an understanding that what I put forward and how I put it forward is going to make a difference in my life. So I was listening to Jay Shetty today and one of his interviews, and it was interesting because as she was talking about manifestation, she was talking about some of the things that can kind of mess us up a little bit. And the first thing is to be really clear about what it is we want out of life. What is it that we desire, whether it's our career or our relationships, our financial situation? Be really clear about what we want. And also to remember that what we can truly impact through our visualization or visioning is what is in our control. So we don't have control over lottery numbers, but we do have control over how we spend our time and how we focus our attention. So, for example, if we wanted to create greater wealth, we might look at what it is we're doing day by day and moment by moment to achieve that. And if we find that we're not really on track with our vision for our lives, we're maybe doing work that we hate, that's going to cause an interrupt. So really important that we get a sense of clarity about what we want. And maybe we build a vision board. You know, a vision board is a series of images and words that depict the quality of life that we seek. And I think it's important to really make sure that it depicts the quality of the life we want, because sometimes it's more than just things. We can manifest things for sure, but I think most of us are looking for a quality, whether it's joy or love or peace or comfort. If we begin to focus on those things and produce images that match that, if we get a clear sense of what our direction is, that can make a big difference. And of course, we have to remove our fear and doubt. Absolutely essential, because sometimes we're afraid of success, other times we're afraid of failure. So we might hold ourselves back, where we sit back and think, well, I want this career. I think this is, where I want to go. This is what I love to do. But then creeps in a little bit of doubt. Well, I don't know if I can do it. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not the right person. When we look at the world around us, there's probably somebody who's already done what it is that you're considering doing. And if you can think about the qualities that they exude, maybe you can come to terms with whether or not you have those attributes. We want to align our behavior with our vision. So when we have a vision for something and we get fearful or we start to doubt, we want to address that and begin to think about things that could allow us to move into the vision in a bigger, brighter way. And sometimes, we get little tests from the universe. We get these little interruptions, painful moments or stressful moments that cause us to really expand in fear and doubt. And we want to pay attention to those because it might simply be an opportunity to slightly change direction. There might be something we're doing that we're ready to move away from. And so when we get those moments of block or stop, just to stop for a moment and take a breath. Be present in the moment and ask yourself, like, am I on the right path or is there something I need to adjust? And maybe there's things in our behavior that aren't matching with the outcome that we desire. So we have to sometimes listen. And the very best place to listen is within. Okay. We might be listening to our friends, the news, the neighbors, whoever. I'm suggesting they may not know your best path. So take a moment and go into meditation. This is where our spiritual practice is so important, to get into meditation, to quiet the mind and listen. Listen to that still small voice and get a sense of what is next for me. What is really next for me? What doors are opening? What doors are closing? And can I willingly move aside from those closed doors and begin to move in the direction that life is actually flowing? And then, of course, gratitude, being grateful for what is. Sometimes we get a little bump in the road and things feel kind of ick or bad or awful, or maybe we have an illness or we have pain in our body or finances dry up or whatever happens, there's a death in the family, something that interrupts our well-being. And sometimes we need to just be with that and then reflect on what it is we still have to be grateful for, regardless of the circumstance. Gratitude is a really powerful way of moving us into a greater vision for our lives and a greater possibility. And sometimes that gratitude, when we feel gratitude and express gratitude, what happens is the universe, I believe, responds to that by bringing us more and more for which to be grateful for. So it really is a powerful practice. And of course, we need to trust. We need to trust that the universe is for us, not against us. And I think that sometimes gets a little bit challenging, where we sit back and think, I'm not so sure about that. It seems like everything's been going wrong lately. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed or frustrated. And we want to eliminate that by going, no, just a minute, let me just go back to that first cause. There's a power for good in the universe, and it's fully present where I am. It's being me. It's the life that I live, the journey that I walk, all that I am. And if we can begin to accept that, we open ourselves up to the possibility of a shift. You see, we're the ones making the shifts. We're the ones creating this pathway, because when we came into this life, we came in with a very specific little something that was ours to do. And maybe we're a little off track and need to be realigned to actually get in harmony with our own divine purpose. And every now and again, I'll ask people, well, what is yours to do, or what's your purpose? And I often hear, I don't know. It's one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves, is I don't know. And the truth is, I may not be consciously aware at this moment of what is mine to do. However, if I take time to just stop saying I don't know, then in that moment, I might begin to grasp or see what it is that I actually do know at some level. And I think when we're looking at our life, we might not know the job that we're meant to do. However, there's a quality of life and living that we bring in that is unique to us. Each one of us has our own unique little something that we bring that no one else can bring in the way that we do it. And so we want to align with that purpose. And sometimes life gives us hints as to what that might be. And part of it is, do I love what I'm doing? And it might not be my job. Maybe it's what I do on the weekends rather than what I do Monday to Friday to earn an income. What are the things that excite and delight me? Where is my attention? I often have been asked, years ago, one of my teachers asked me, who are you? And that's a really interesting question. And it really lines up with what it is we're here to do. And what popped into my mind is, I am love expressing. Well, that's not really a job. It's not really a career path. However, it does fit with the path that I'm currently on, where, I'm looking at, causing or helping people to discover their path, or to inspire, or to love people, even when they find it difficult to love themselves. And of course, this whole thing about prosperity is, I'm doing what I want to do in the fashion that I want to do it. I'm doing it with people that I love. That's prosperity. It's not about money. It's about well-being. And well-being is whatever I name it for me and whatever you name it for you. And when we're feeling peaceful about our lives, more often than not, it's because we do have a depth of self-love. And of course, everything comes back to self-love. So today is going to be the best day of my life. If I believe that to be true, I get to be right. I get to be right. And if I can find it in myself to accept me as I am, where I am, with what I have done or haven't done, without envy, without, I wish I would have, regret, guilt, whatever's going on. If I can come back to the idea that I'm created in the image likeness of this grand creative energy, if I can begin to live from there, I can begin to change my circumstances for the better. But it's really important that I love myself enough to do what works for me moment by moment. And that makes it easier to manifest that which I desire. If I'm in a place of living my best life moment by moment, and remember, your best is not perfection. Your best is going to change day by day, right? On the day when you've had a great night's sleep and you wake up and you feel like $1,000,000 and you got a brand new outfit to wear and you're just feeling all great, your best day is going to be way up here. And on the day when you haven't slept well and you're maybe feeling a little under the weather, your best is going to be down here. But all we have to do is our best and know that that is a moving target. And if every day we wake up and do our best, and if we have a vision for our lives that is satisfying to us and fulfilling to us and brings us joy in the long run, and we align our behaviors with that vision, we begin to move forward in a state of real grace and gratitude, and really remarkable things come from that. Raymond Hollowell talks about, when we get into those fears and doubts, he talks about failure. And he said, all failures in life are due to taking sides with the finite around us. All success in life is taking sides with the law within us. Thus, working with the law may be considered the same as taking the law into our own minds and lives as a silent partner. We are then conscious of the source and creator of all power and realize and receive the many benefits that surround us. So I invite you to, think about your life and think about prosperity and think about what that means to you. For me, it's about living a life that brings me joy. Doesn't matter how much money I have. It doesn't matter what kind of car I drive or the clothes I wear. It's, do I feel satisfied within myself? That's a prosperous life. Doesn't mean there won't be bumps in the road. It just means that I'll figure out how to move over those when they come. So I invite you to think about your life, think about your journey. And as we go into our breakout rooms to have a discussion, just think about what it is you truly love about you, and then what it is that you seek to create moving forward. I want to just be clear on our intentions so that our conversation is clear. I am creating a divine space of understanding, love, and compassion for each person to share their beliefs and perspectives in this experience. I am speaking and acting for myself personally and not for others, and will share my truth honestly and respectfully. And I'm trusting that this is a safe space to step outside my comfort zone, or rather my familiar place. I'm keeping my opinions and advice to myself and will not crosstalk nor give advice or suggestions. I am keeping confidential what is shared here, and I'm ensuring each participant has equal time to share. I am lightening up and I am joy. So here's the questions for tonight, and you may have a few others that you want to discuss, but what does prosperity mean to you? Do you believe that you are prosperous? And in what ways could you create a more prosperous world? You're going to have 20 minutes. So that's going to give you lots of time to chat. And I will give you notice at the halfway point. And then again, when we're getting, about 5 minutes left, and then it'll be down to 1 minute. So off you go. Enjoy.